What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and as you can tell by the title, we've got another theme setup, this one inspired by Black Panther. And Disney reached out to sponsor a Black Panther themed video on the channel, so that got my mind thinking, let's do a clean setup based on Shuri's lab and her inventions. And the Black Panther movie is officially out on digital, Blu-ray, and 4K UHD, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, now's the time. But let's start off with the overall look here. I decided to go with a minimalistic approach since Black Panther is all about stealth and staying low-key. So with that in mind, we had to keep the setup nice and clear and keep it as minimal as possible. And of course, the overall theme is black and purple, like the kinetic suit that Shuri made, and we used a few RGB lit peripherals to get the look, but we'll touch on those in a second. The setup is built around what I think would give us the closest experience to using one of Shuri's computers, and that's the Surface Studio. Now, I feel like this works because it has a large touchscreen that allows us to use our hands for maneuvering and using gestures to control the computer, since we don't exactly have the cool holograms and the floating screens that we typically see in the Marvel universe. But imagine if we did. That would be awesome. If we got any real life Shuris out there, please hook it up. And even using something like the Surface Dial helps this to feel more futuristic than your typical controls. And I feel like the studio just works out perfectly because it's geared towards creators, which is exactly what Shuri is. And speaking of creations, she made this awesome levitating train system which used magnets to stay up, and they carried vibranium, which was the inspiration for our speaker system here. These are a pair of levitating speakers called the Mars by Crazy Baby. Now, these are typically meant to be used as solo speakers, but they are capable of being used in stereo mode. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I had a really hard time pairing these together, and I still haven't really figured it out, so I don't recommend using this system if you're looking for a cool pair of stereo speakers. But I couldn't help but put them in the setup since they work so perfectly and the potential's there. On their own though, they're kind of cool since they're levitated using magnets, and they've got these cool LEDs to give it a nice effect. And speaking of LEDs, we added a few here to really tie in the theme color for Black Panther. So let's talk about those peripherals. Here we've got the Apex M750 TKL keyboard by SteelSeries. And what I love about this keyboard, besides the fact that it's RGB, is that it's got a smaller form factor and isn't as clicky as keyboards that I typically go with, so it feels more stealthy when using it. And I really wanted to tie in some kind of reference to Shuri's new sneakers with this keyboard, but I couldn't figure it out. They're both quiet. My only issue with this keyboard, which is a personal problem, is that it's taking some getting used to typing on this thing since I'm pretty used to having a number pad with my desktop, but overall the black and purple work really well for this setup. Next to that, we've chosen the Logitech G900 as our mouse. Now, this was the perfect choice since it's lightweight, has an ambidextrous design, and performs really well with great accuracy, kind of like our man T'Challa. And of course, you know the mouse pad has to have RGBs too, because why not? And to round out our RGBs, we of course have a Philips Hue strip in the back to give us that nice purple glow, and a lamp with this basic RGB bulb from Amazon. You know, the ones that use the little color changing remote. And our last piece is the Corsair ST100 RGB headphone stand. Now, this is currently my favorite headphone stand since it looks great, offers 2 extra USB 3.0 ports, so you can start plugging things in without even reaching for your computer, and you can customize the RGBs around the perimeter and even the logo on the stand. But on top of that headphone stand, we have the all-black Bose QC35 Series 2. These headphones follow the same formula of being lightweight, stealthy, with solid performance. And last but absolutely not least, we got this figure of Black Panther, just to make sure there's no confusion on who this setup is based on. But all jokes aside, this is a sturdy figure with tons of details, so if you're a collector who likes Black Panther, you should definitely check it out. But not only do you have to check that, but you gotta check out Black Panther now that you can watch it at home. If you're one of the few people who actually missed that movie, you definitely wanna check it out. And I'm obviously gonna be picking up a copy because Wakanda forever. But that's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Links will be down below to everything. But till next one, guys, it's your average consumer. Peace.